What's up, Gemini? And thank you guys so much for tuning in. So, guys, I apologize. I'm super late on these monthly readings, but life happens, and my freaking cat escaped the house. So, that was awful. So, for all of you that, you left Swayze in your prayers, thank you so much. But he did come home the same night. Shit was crazy, but he's here. So, let's get into this. Let's see what's going on for the sign of Gemini. Now, you guys will be getting your mid-month readings rather soon from now. So, let's just see what the cards are saying about your regular readings, okay? Your regular monthly reading. Okay. What is going on for the sign of Gemini for the month of April? And this is general, guys. This will be for sun, moon, and rising signs. Whatever comes out, okay? And for anyone interested in this deck, I'm using the Healing Light Tarot. Looks like this. All right. All right, Gems, let's see what's going on. Okay. So the energy that you guys have for this month is the Emperor in the reverse. So it could be you guys in a situation where you feel like you're just not being completely honest with someone, that you could be wearing a mask when it comes to them, or you could be dealing with this person. Now, this card does represent Aries and Virgo, so for some of you, you could be dealing with that person. Behind that, we do have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is going to be an earth energy. It could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. But with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, whether it's you feeling this way towards somebody or someone feeling this way towards you, there's someone here that is kind of bored with where they are, whether it's with a person, whether it's with your job, but there's something that just may not excite you, or you might be dealing with a person who's just not excited by certain things. Someone who kind of sticks around just for the convenience of something. So, if this were to come up for work, this would be you showing up to a job that you don't particularly like, but it's something that gets the bills paid, okay? So let's see how this unfolds. So the first card that you guys have for the past is the Ten of Swords in the reverse. With the Ten of Swords in the reverse, there could be forgiveness after a betrayal that has happened, or a harsh ending that has happened, or it could just be telling you that the worst that could have happened in the situation has happened. So now it's in the past, and you're kind of just getting through that and over that. Okay, we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. So with the Six of Swords in the reverse, there was something that you had a really hard time moving away from. Okay, something that could have been very difficult for you. And you have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So there's something that you had to get over, you had to move on from, and you made the decision to move on from it, even if it may have been very difficult for you. Now, the next card that you guys have for the past is the Two of Swords in the reverse. So again, making a very strong decision, after a time where you could have been confused as to which path you should take with a person or with a job. And we have the Justice card here. So this decision that you made, it was going to bring you balance. Okay, this is going to be something where you're just trying to do what you feel is going to be just. We do have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Now, the Queen of Swords in the reverse, she could come up for a few reasons. Male or female can take this energy. But the Queen of Swords in the reverse is someone who really stands their ground. They're very overly protective over themselves. And it's just someone who cuts out anything that's not working for them, but it's also someone who could amplify a problem as well. So maybe you guys were pushed to a point where you really had to put your foot down in a very extreme way with somebody and kind of tell them, look, I'm not going to take this anymore. Or it could have been something that maybe upset you so much that you felt the need to be petty towards this person, okay? Or maybe a little bit of both. But there is definitely, bad judgment involved here. All right, Knight of Cups in the reverse. So there could have been someone who was cheating in a situation. If this makes sense for you in terms of love, there could have also been a sense of you or someone that you were close to being emotionally unstable during some time. Now, the last card that we have for the past is the Sun card in the reverse. So this is when something unexpectedly comes to light. It could be good news, maybe someone who had a crush on you, but you didn't know about it, or just something that you didn't expect to hear. And you have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So whatever it was that came out, made you stop putting work or effort into something. Okay, and you have the Lover's card. For some of you, maybe you literally just stopped working, okay, to spend time with a loved one. For others of you, you could have found something out about someone that you felt very close to, where you felt like the efforts that you were putting towards this person, it just wasn't working out. All right, and we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, so something that you felt the need to really give up on. Okay, it could have been a person, it could have been a habit that you had towards a person, but something you knew had to go. Now, in your present moment, guys, the first card that you have is the Five of Cups. So with the Five of Cups, this is going to be a card about loss. This is going to be a card of crying over spilled milk. Okay, so, with this card, the person here, they're focusing on the 3 cups here that have fallen. They don't see that there's 2 cups behind them that are still full. There's still opportunities and choices and things that they can do. So just make sure that you guys aren't beating yourselves up. Make sure that you realize that in life things may happen, and instead of dwelling on a problem, we have to work on the solution or how to get ourselves out of things, okay? And we have the Four of Pentacles. So there's something that you guys could feel certain loss, but it's like you're becoming very guarded because of this loss that you feel. And you guys have the Eight of Cups. So there's something that you could be emotionally invested in that you have to move away from. Okay, it doesn't always have to be something really bad. It could just be, maybe you were with a loved one, okay, and maybe you literally just had to move away from the person. Maybe you can't physically be with them, all right, something just like that. The next card here is the Five of Swords. So with the Five of Swords, this is petty conflict. This is, a lot of back and forth. Could be a lot of arguing, okay, but there's going to be 2 aspects of this Five of Swords. There's going to be someone who feels defeated and someone who did, who had the defeat in a sense. Someone who actually won. So it's like, let me get my words together. This is a sense of you guys, there could be a tough situation that you go through with your sword in the air and you're very resilient, or you could be the person who feels defeated, because if you look at this card, there's one person here that they won, all right? They have all the swords, and then there's 2 people kind of walking away and having to take the loss. So you have to ask yourself, which one are you? Okay, and we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So there is definitely some sort of secrets that may have come out, something that someone wanted to keep hidden to themselves. And we have the Moon card in the reverse, so this came out, so it could have been something that came out that caused problems, but something that also gave you clarity at the same time. But with the Judgment card in the reverse popping up, someone could have definitely made a bad call here. The next card that you guys have is the Four of Swords. So with the Four of Swords, you're in a place, yes, that you could be taking a break, but it's not so much a break. You're going into really deep thinking where you're really trying to strategize and be very intellectual about how you want to move forward. This is when you kind of take you fall back from everything. You look at the big picture, and it's like, okay, this is where I am. How do I want to move forward with this? What's going to be the best option moving forward? And this person doesn't do that until they figure out something that's going to be meaningful, moving forward in a way that's going to make sense. And we have the King of Swords in the reverse. So there could have been something that happened where you guys kind of just take that fuck everyone attitude, okay? Or there could be some, the King of Swords in the reverse can come up in 2 different ways. Me personally, I think that it is the coolest king in the deck, just because of how cold this king could be. But again, female or male, you guys, anyone can take on this energy. But with the King of Swords in the reverse, there's 2 different ways to get to it. It could be someone really, really pushing you to a point where you really just have to tell them, fuck off, and you become very strong against that person. Or it could just be someone that does have malicious intent and just kind of wakes up and decides, I want to make a disaster of this world today. What can I fuck up first? So you have to ask yourself, what are you doing? Have you been pushed to that point? Or have you, woken up with this sense of maliciousness where you kind of just want to make waves in the wrong way? Okay, so we have to be careful with this energy here. But we do have the Three of Cups, where there is something worth celebrating. But how did you get to it? Did you get to it because you stood your ground against something bad, or did you get to it because you had to walk over people? All right. And we have the Five of Wands in the reverse. So for a lot of you, I feel like you're taking this stance just to avoid conflict. So I feel like you're just really protecting yourself against something that could be tumultuous, okay? And we do have the Queen of Cups at the bottom and the World card in the reverse. So maybe some of you, you could have found something out about a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or just someone who seemed to have been very loving and very, I don't want to say motherly, but kind of gives you like that motherly sort of love and compassion. Okay, so maybe you found out something and you have to get over someone, but you're not over it. Okay, so you're still thinking about whatever went down here. Moving forward, the first card that you guys have is the Hermit card. So this is you guys really, really focusing. The Hermit is someone that will not move forward from a situation or from a place of solitude until they feel like they really grasp a concept in a very in-depth way. All right, we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So yeah, you guys are really in a place that you're focused and you're at a standstill. You're not going to move forward until you feel like you figured something out. All right, and we have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, this could be a reconciliation with someone that you're very fond of, someone that you love. This could be for singles, someone who gets into a relationship. And, you know, I feel like this is going to be a good thing where you're kind of like standing still until you have that reconciliation or you reunite with something that really makes you feel good. And with the Ten of Cups, you know, you're on top of the world with this. But for some of you, this could also be a sense of, because with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, it could also be someone who's very selfish. Someone who feels like they deserve the world, but they're not necessarily putting anything out there to make them be worthy of what they're asking for. So for some of you, it's going to be a reconciliation that makes you very happy. For others of you, it's going to be dealing with someone, whether it's you who's the leech or someone else who's the leech, that things are just falling out where you have to stop talking to someone. But despite which spectrum or which side of the spectrum you fall on, you have victory here. Okay, so if you're looking to reconcile with someone, I do see it happening. If there's something here that you know you can't move forward towards it anymore, that it's either making you show a lot of shadow aspects of yourself or just someone's showing you a nasty side of themselves, you will have victory over this. And with the Ten of Pentacles, regardless of where you're coming from, you're going to feel very abundant at the end of all of this. So something that is good to go through, whether it's going to be good or bad in the beginning. The next card that we have is the Three of Wands in the reverse. So maybe there's something that you're waiting on, that you just stop waiting on, you don't have hope for, or a place in your life where you feel like you cannot expand. Okay. We have the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Four of Cups in the reverse. So there's something that stops working for you, but it doesn't make you short of, you know, new opportunity. So there's something that doesn't work out, but you accept an offer that you're going to be very passionate about, that you're going to be very emotionally fulfilled by. So something may not be working, but it's going to, you're going to get something else. And for some of you, it could be a fire sign that's coming in that's going to have a large significance for you. But for others of you, especially if it's within work, you're going to take a position where you're going to be very powerful in what you do. You know, with the King of Wands, this is the type of person that doesn't have to ask for respect. They kind of just walk into a room and everyone just knows, okay, let's be quiet and let's listen to what this person has to say. So you're moving away from something that could be difficult, or, you know, finding out things that can kind of, you know, give you a rocky foundation. But you're coming out extremely strong. For some of you, if you're going into a new business or a new relationship or whatever it is, things are going to be beautiful. There's going to be a lot of passion, a lot of lust, a lot of great sex. So go for it, all right? The last card that you guys have here is the Knight of Wands. So again, it could be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius who's going to be very important for you, or you guys just on a path of something that truly makes you very passionate. But again, there's something that you have to drop, that you have to stop working on, someone that you have to, you know, possibly just stop talking to. All right, and you have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. So for some of you, this could have been a situation where there was a sense of promiscuity, maybe someone cheated, but there's something that you're leaving behind that I feel had you very emotional, all right, that had you too worried. So for some of you, you have to leave someone from the past behind with the Six of Cups in the reverse here in order to follow a passion of yours. There's going to be a huge change in your life that comes in with the Tower card. And I feel that this is going to be very big. I feel like this is going to be a very pivoting time in your life where you're going towards something, you know, that's going to happen on a grand scale. But you have to drop some dead weight, okay? So you're dropping dead weight, but you're getting something really good, all right? So that's a good thing, because I always say when there's someone toxic in your life or just something toxic in your life, a lot of your blessings are going to be blocked. So for some of you, you could have had a hard time letting something go, but the fact that you let it go opened up a lot of doors of opportunity for you. Okay, so let's get these Earth Magic Oracle cards to see what cards of advice you guys are going to need for this month. What card of advice do Geminis need to hear for April 2018? Let's see what falls out for you guys. Okay, so you guys have the card Karma and you have Ancestors. So with this, you have when you have Karma and Ancestors here, this to me is going back to something that stems very deeply within you. It could have, it's beyond, the issue that you're going through. That's kind of like the surface problem here. I feel like there's deeper issues attached to this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an issue. Just things that may have come from childhood, or things that you may have learned from your family, or you may have learned from your parents, where there's something from your past or a certain way that you got into the situation that you were in, that it wasn't working for you in the best way. And it could be difficult to kind of make changes and go towards something different, because this may be all that you know, or this may just be the way that you're used to conducting yourself, or that you're used to going about things. But now you're in a place where it's like, okay, I can't go about things the same way anymore because it's not getting me the results I want. So now it's going to be hard for me to move away from some habits, or move away from a particular concept, or move away from a person, or, just what they put me through. But I have been disconnected with myself. You have the Shaman card in the reverse, followed by the Full Moon card, which is the card for completion. All right, so there's something here that goes very deep. Okay, it could root from your childhood, something that you've just subconsciously picked up from your upbringing, that, again, it's not working for you. Okay, you're going to change and you're going into something big. Like I said, it's going to be a big pivoting time for you guys. But there has to be something that you drop, something that's not going to help you to get what you want, something that's causing the sense of disconnect between you and your particular goal this month. All right, so with the Shaman card in the reverse, there's a disconnect that you feel. You don't feel like your soul is completely resonating, or the way that you're going about things isn't completely resonating with your soul. All right, so there's something here with the full moon that you have to complete. It could be a way that you go about things. It could be a way that you see a particular person. It could be the way that you speak about yourself, maybe. Okay, so maybe you've been speaking about yourself in a bad way. Maybe you grew up in a family that they had a lot of shortcomings, or maybe they didn't fully follow their dreams. So you know that in order for you to get to where you need to go, you have to break that chain. Okay, so definitely going to be a huge month, not just so much because there's something good coming in, but because there's something that you're realizing about your life that needs to change so that you can do things on a big scale. So change is difficult, right? Change is hard. Sometimes we don't want to see that change. With Gemini, you guys are pretty good with change, and I feel like you guys can adapt pretty well. But I feel like initially it could be something that kind of throws you off a bit. But Gemini, you guys are very, very good with adapting and, just assimilating yourself into a new environment. So I feel like this is going to be really good for you, but also very, very powerful, okay? Maybe there's promises that you have to break with other people. Maybe you promised your family you would go a certain way with things. Maybe you promised your friends or a loved one that you were going to do something, but you're realizing that it's just not going to work out that way. That you have to kind of change things and go against what you thought was going to be right in order to make this happen. But again, guys, it's going to happen on a grand scale. So whatever that is, I hope that you guys tackle that, and I hope you guys take it, because there's beautiful opportunity coming in if you're able to, make this change in your life, do something that's going to be very constructive for you. But guys, this is really, really good. Now, like I said, your mid-month readings are going to be out in just a few days, so this is kind of, that little bonus. But yeah, this is great, guys. Now, for those of you that do want personal readings, you can actually go to my new website. It's High Vibrations with Liz. I'll put it below in the description. And for iPhone users, I do have an app called InstantGo. I'll also put that link in the description. So you guys can literally call or text me on that link. If you text me a question, I do answer same day. If you guys call me and I am not available, I'll let you know as soon as I am. Just so you guys know, with InstantGo, if I have readings that I have to get out that have already been paid for or anything like that, I focus on that. So with InstantGo, I do not take a call unless I'm completely caught up. So if you feel like you're calling me a lot, then it's because I just have to catch up with some work. But I always let you guys know when I'm available. But other than that, Gemini, I love you guys. This is great. So good luck with everything and keep it coming. Take care, guys.